So I was earlier talking with OS. I was telling him about the vocal harmonies in most of the songs. So I was joking like it's like Boknagar is like the queen of the extreme metal scene because of the way that you have three vocalists in the band, sometimes
Mm.
four, and there are these complex vocal arrangements that you're doing, layering them on top of each other, almost like it's almost similar to what you do with your instruments. So,
Yeah.
like, how do you decide when the growls come in and when to go clean? And of course, ICS is a very distinctive voice. Like, how do you patch up the whole vocal arrangement?
Well, again, a little bit, it's pretty much something that evolves. But of course, when I'm basically doing the basic songwriting, I have some ideas. I have some, always have my notes in terms of guidelines for vocals, and I talk a lot with the guys when when I'm starting writing songs or music or an album. I usually start writing like for 3, 4 songs, and then I start to send the songs to the guys, and we start bouncing ideas back and forth, and I send the lyrics, and we, just talks about things, listen to things,
Mm-hmm.
give it some time to just, grasp the material and melt it into something that sounds good actually. So it's basically a process. Of course, I have some ideas. I have kind of some riffs, some arrangements. It's typical. Okay, we need to have some grim screaming vocals here. That the part needs that. But other riffs, other parts of the songs might be more like, yeah, I don't know, maybe you should do something like this or that, or let's try out something, and we do. And that's my point. We bouncing a lot of ideas during the process of producing the album. I spent like maybe 1, 2 months writing the songs, but you spend like 3, 4, maybe 5 months even to produce the
Okay.
songs, to try out different
Okay.
ideas, to melt things together and make an overall feel on it. So it's a step by step process, really.
Very interesting. I mean, I didn't know that it was so complex. Anyway, getting to I want to talk about your guitar tone on this album. Now,
Hmm.
when I usually when I listen to music, I visualize it in my head for some reason. So
Hmm.
your guitar tone sounds like butter sliding on stretched rubber for me, which is a very good thing. It's so smooth; it doesn't overpower any of the instruments. I mean, the bass usually in a mix, the bass gets lost and gets mixed along with the drums. But here I can hear ICS rumbling around at the back.
Yeah.
So, for the any gear geeks listening, can you give us a breakdown, if not for everyone, for at least like your rig, like your gear?
Yeah, it's very, very simple, and they say that less is more and stuff like that, and there is something about it. I've in the early days I used to a lot of pedals and guitars and different things and trying out, but eventually I just made it very, very simple. I have a Gibson Les Paul Studio. That's the guitar I usually use. We have an endorsement or I have a deal with the Gibson guitars. And we also, I use plug it directly into my Angle amp, which is a German
Yeah,
amplifier,
I've
which
heard
is
of it.
a very, very good in my opinion. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
And of course, I do some EQ bass.
That's amazing. I mean, for you as well. I mean, working with Bard. I mean, he's playing with Leprous as well. And from last few months, everybody was under the impression that he's the drummer for Abbath as well. So, I mean, how's it been working with him? He's still in his infant states, but a damn good drummer.
Yeah, he's a brilliant drummer. Yeah, he had some, he rehearsed with the Abbott guys for a couple of weeks, I guess, but that was all basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's a brilliant drummer. He is also very professional. He's a very focused. I mean, he has been playing drums since he was the size of a fist, I guess.
Yeah.
He has been playing drums all his life, and his father has always been very supportive. So and pushing him. So he's a prodigy, I would say, in terms of drums, and he will be one of the big stars, I think, on the drum sky in the future. He is so talented, he's so focused, and so professional attitude. So it's just a pleasure working with him, really. I mean, I feel privileged to be able to work with him.
Awesome.
It's an amazing drummer. Of course, I have more experience in terms of the business side of things, and I've done like 15, 16, 17 records now with different bands and stuff, and he have just done a couple of albums. But even though it fills out so good, and he represents some fresh blood into the old grumpy.
Right. I can totally relate to that. And you guys have your roots in Norwegian, the metal scene in general, and slowly you guys had moved away from this slide. But if you look at the scene, the Norwegian metal scene as an outsider, what are your thoughts on the current state of the styles that you have left behind?
Well, as an outsider, I lost pretty much the contact with the metal scene, at least in Bergen in the late 90s. I've been on outside of things and looking into it. I still think it's very healthy. Looking back and thinking back on the times mid 90s and end of 90s, it was a really good time, really golden time in many ways, because it was so. The whole scene, just at that point, was just a bunch of people, like 20, 25 people, hanging out in pubs and challenging each other, doing the best music, coming up with new and cool things, and pushing each other in a way. Very kind of healthy, creative scene, I would say, at that point. We really wanted something. We wanted to achieve something, everybody. And that what can I say? That notion, that feeling has kind of is still existing. It seems like. I mean, some of the old guys, the guys I kind of grew up with, like the guys in Immortal, Enslaved, all those bands, is still going fine, and still doing their stuff. So, and it's kind of impressive that it has remained for such a long time. I mean, it's really an ordeal to keep a band going for 20 or 25 years. It's a hard work, and it's not something everybody do, really.
Right.
So to speak.
I understand that. Absolutely. So what is the plan of taking this album on road? I mean, is there any tour being planned across Europe, or maybe US tour down the line?
Yeah, well, first off, we have booked a couple of festivals in Europe, quite big ones.
I saw you guys at I think Graspop Festival.
Yeah, the Graspop. We will do Graspop, which is also a quite big festival in Belgium. And we're doing a couple of European festivals this summer with full force in I think it's France. I'm not sure, but I think it's France, and a couple of others as I can't remember at the point. And then there is some talks about doing a small European tour in April to support the album. We don't know yet if it actually will happen, but hopefully so. And then we also, all the guys in the band, we are, including me, are really eager to get to the States to do something, because we haven't been there for a long time, and we know we have a lot of fans there. So we are trying. We are in talks now, also trying to get something going in the US later next year, maybe autumn or something like that. I don't know. What?
The fall 2016.
Maybe. I don't dare guarantee anything, but hopefully that will.
I hope that happens, because you have a lot of fans almost everywhere. So Europe being your home country, I understand that. Of course, fans are going to see you live, but fans in States, obviously, they would be waiting. So would be great to have you live. Do a short tour in the US would be amazing.
I'm also waiting in India.
we are definitely aiming on it, and we also have considered doing the South America, of course, because we also have a lot of fans there. But reality bites sometimes. We have to figure our way, and but we definitely are aiming to do something like that next fall or something.
Wonderful.
So let's see.
That's amazing. Thanks again for sparing some time today for the interview. Was having a great time with you, and I love the album, and we are digging it. So good luck ahead for all the future endeavors, and hopefully I see you down the road in Europe.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you guys for the support and everything. And well, have a nice evening or day.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Yeah, take care.
All right, bye-bye. Take care, bye.